refer to a 4-stroke double acting diesel engine, right? So we already studied about single acting and double acting in air compressor. Can anyone tell me what is meant by double acting? What is meant by double acting?
Suction and compression takes place on either side of the piston.
Means we can say that for one complete revolution we will get 2 power strokes. Yes or no? Right now? So double acting means one revolution, one complete revolution, right? So means here you can say for 2-stroke engine we are talking. If it is 4-stroke engine, instead of getting 1 power stroke, we will get 2 power strokes. Okay? Means 2 revolutions for 4-stroke engine. Generally, for 4-stroke engine, for 2 revolutions, we will get the 1 power stroke. In case of single acting, in double acting, we will get the 2 power strokes. Means one side of the piston may be with 1 stroke, other side of the piston may be other stroke. Let us take, this is the diagram for double acting cylinder. So this end we have connecting rod, and this end we don't have any rods, simply we will be having valves. Okay, inlet valve and exhaust valve. Inlet valve, exhaust valve. Let us see. Okay, right. Now here, what will happen when the piston is moving from left side to right side? This side will suction will takes place. This side compression will take place. At the end of the compression, here we have spark plug. Okay, so due to the spark plug, combustion is initiated. So now the other end, when the piston is moving from right to left, left side already suction is completed. Now the compression and combustion, right now. Likewise, so for 2 revolutions of the crank, we will get 2 power strokes here. Okay, now tell me, is the area is the same on both the sides of the piston? The displacement volume for suction as well as for left side suction and right side suction. The displacement volume for left side and right side will not be same, because the effective volume will be here. If you subtract this particular area, what is this area? The piston rod area we need to subtract from this total area. Thereby you will get the effective area. Okay, right. So we can say this side is the cover end and this side is the rod end. Okay, this is the cover end and this is the rod end. Now go to the data. The following data refers to a 4-stroke double acting, right now. So it is a 4-stroke engine. So for 4-stroke engine, what is the number of working strokes? N is equals to N by 2. N is equals to N by 2. Right now, having cylinder diameter of the cylinder is given 200 mm. That is equivalent to 0.2 meter, and piston stroke L equals to 350 mm. That is equivalent to 0.35 meter. Now if you see here, mean effective pressure on cover side is given, mean effective pressure on crank side is given. This is the cover end, this is the cover side, this is the crank side. If you see here, the mean effective pressure is less compared to here, right? Now P mean, I'll write data here. P mean on cover end is equals to 6.5 bar. 6.5 bar is equals to 6.5 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. And mean effective pressure on crank side, that is rod side, it is 7 bar, 7 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Then speed of the engine is given, capital N is equals to 420 rpm, and diameter of the piston rod is equals to 0.02 meter, and dead load on the brake W 1370 Newton, and spring balance reading 145 Newton, and brake wheel diameter is equals to 1.2 meter, and rope diameter d rope is equals to 0.02 meter. So what is asking? Calculate the mechanical efficiency of the engine. Right now, how to calculate mechanical efficiency? Output power by input power into 100, brake power by indicated power into 100. That is the mechanical efficiency. Now here, what is the difference between this problem and previous problems? Can anyone tell me?
Single acting, sir.
Yeah, earlier we discussed single acting and this is the double acting. Right now here there is no problem to calculate brake power, so directly brake power can be calculated W minus S into pi capital D plus small d, because both the diameters are given, into N by 60,000. We will get the brake power in kilowatt. Any doubt in calculating the brake power? Tell me. Please respond.
No, sir.
No, right. Now the main problem is indicated power. Now the indicated power here in this problem is, it is the combination of two, IP1 plus IP2. One indicated power is on cover side, one indicated power is on crank side. Okay. Now let us say this is 1 and this is 2. Okay. This is 1 and this is 2. Now diameter is given, therefore we can calculate area at 1. Okay. Area on cover side is equals to 5 by 4 into 0.2 whole square. Okay, so the area on the cover side. Now tell me how to calculate area on crank side. Area on
Area
crank
of
side.
cylinder minus area of piston.
Very good. 5 by 4 into 0.2 square minus 0.02. Yes or no? This is a crank. 5 by 4 0.02 whole square means this area square minus this area square. 5 by 4 I can take common. Okay, now I got two areas, right? Now what is the formula for IP? IP1 plus IP2, right? Now IP1 is for cover side. This is the cover, this is the rod side. This is the cover and this is the cover, and this is the rod or crank. Okay, IP1, that is IP cover, is equals to PM cover L area of cover N divided by 60,000. So PM of cover you have to consider in this one, and area of cover you need to consider. You will get IP on cover end. Okay. Now second case, IP on rod side. That is nothing but crank end. Okay. So PM of crank, length, area of crank N, here multiplied by K. That is important. K is 1 here, right now. Nothing is given means it is 160,000 kilowatt multiplied by K. You will get IP1, IP2. So once you will get IP cover and IP rod and add both the two, that gives the total IP. So once you know BP and IP, if you substitute in this formula, you will get the mechanical efficiency. Is it is clear? Students?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Yeah. And now I'm going to next problem. Is it is readable, or shall I increase the size?
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Is it now it is okay, comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Next problem. Just go through the problem. I think we didn't discuss, right, this one yesterday. Tell me whether we discussed or not this problem yesterday.
No, sir.
No, sir,
No,
we
right.
didn't.
Yeah, a 4-cylinder 4-stroke SI engine has a compression ratio 8 and bore 100 mm with stroke equal to bore. The volumetric efficiency of each cylinder is given. The engine operates at a speed with an air-fuel ratio. Right now, so write the data given. Right, number of cylinders K is equals to 4 because he mentioned it is 4-cylinder engine and it is 4-stroke engine. Small n is equals to this is 4-stroke. Okay, a compression ratio. What is meant by compression ratio? Anyone, please tell me.
Total
What is
volume by
compression
swept
ratio?
volume.
Total volume by swept volume. No, wrong. Total volume by clearance volume. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Volume before start of the compression divided by volume at the end of the compression. Yes or no? That is the compression ratio. So total volume by clearance volume V1 by V2 EPC. Okay, this value is equals to R. Sorry, 8, 8, 6, not 8. And bore diameter is equals to 100 mm. And given that bore is equals to stroke, D is equals to L. Okay, and the volumetric efficiency of each cylinder is equals to 75%. Efficiency of volumetric 0.75. The engine operates at a speed of 4,800 rpm with an air-fuel ratio. Air to the fuel is 15. Okay, air to the fuel ratio is 15, and given the calorific value of the fuel is equals to 42 into 10 power 6 joules per kg. Okay, and the density of air, atmospheric density, rho is equals to 1.12 kg per meter cube, and the mean effective pressure in the cylinder P mean is equals to 10 bar, and the mechanical efficiency of the engine is 80%. Calculate indicated thermal efficiency and brake. Indicated thermal efficiency and brake power, right? So how to calculate indicated thermal efficiency? Indicated thermal efficiency IP by mass of fuel into calorific value. Yes or no? Indicated thermal efficiency IP by, so total output by what is the input we are giving. The output is the indicated power. For that we are burning the fuel. That is the total energy we are supplying. Mass of fuel multiplied by the calorific value. Right? Then he is asking brake power. Okay. Right. So this is the data given. And in order to calculate brake power, we require the data, but data is not there. But mechanical efficiency is given. Right? The mechanical efficiency is given. Just check it whether it is possible to calculate indicated power. Once you know indicated power, then we can calculate brake power by using mechanical efficiency. Okay, no? Right. So check it how to calculate indicated power. Is it possible to calculate indicated power with the given data? PM L A N divided by 60,000 into K. What is the unknown value here? Please tell me. Is there any unknown value here?
No, sir.
No, right? So mean effective pressure is given 10 bar, that is 10 into 10 power 5, and stroke length is given 100 meter. 1 second. 100 meter or mm? This is 100 mm. Okay, 100 mm. We should convert into meter, that is 0.1 meter. And the area pi by 4, 0.1 square, and small n is equals to capital N by 2, K equal to 4 because 4 cylinders, therefore you will get the IP. So once you will get IP, right? So mechanical efficiency is equals to output power by input power BP. So from this we require BP is equals to mechanical efficiency multiplied by IP. You will get the BP. Right now. So then next, anyhow for indicator thermal efficiency also we required IP. We already calculated IP. Okay. Then divided by mass of fuel into calorific value give the indicated thermal efficiency also. Clear now? Any doubt here?
Yes, sir.
Hey, please go through it. One data is not there.
Mass of
You
fuel.
know mass of fuel you need to calculate. For that what he has given? Air fuel ratio, right? So air fuel ratio is given. If you know mass of air, then we can calculate mass of fuel. Yes or no? Right? Now our ultimate is to calculate mass of air. For that volumetric efficiency is given. So volumetric efficiency is equals to V actual by V swept volume. Swept volume is equals to pi by 4 V square L. Okay, and this is four stroke engine. N is nothing but N by 2. Okay, N is nothing but N by 2. Now what are the units we are getting? So this is meter square meter per minute, revolutions per minute. Okay, so that is you will get in terms of meter cube per minute. Meter cube per minute you will get it. Okay, now so here if you do here the units actual volume. So how to get actual volume? This is swept volume what I wrote. So therefore V actual is equals to V swept volume multiplied by the volumetric efficiency. What is the swept volume? This is the swept volume in terms of meter cube per minute. Convert into meter cube per second or anything you can say. Right now pi by 4. What is the diameter? 0.1 whole square into length is also 0.1 into n value. N is 4800 by 2. 4800 by 2, this is pi by 4 d square L n by 2 into volumetric efficiency. How much volumetric efficiency? 0.75. 0.75. Therefore, you will get a volume in terms of meter cube per minute. But I required mass of fuel in terms of kg per second or minute or hour. Agree? So always mass flow rate should be per time basis. Okay. Then how to convert? How to convert meter cube per minute to the kg per second hour? Right now? Right. So here, if you have meter cube per any time, if you multiply with the density, then it will be converted into kg per time. Agree? Because what are the units for density? Density units are kg per
Meter
cube.
meter cube will be cancelled. Therefore, final units we are getting kg per time. Okay, but here what are the units you require? Kg per hour, right now. But here you are getting in terms of minute. You can convert accordingly. Okay, that is the one conversion. And one more conversion is if you have data with liters per time. If you have data with liter in terms of liters per time, and in order to get in terms of kg per hour, you should multiply with its specific gravity. Remember, very important conversions these two are. If you have the data in terms of liters per time, that may be second or minute or hour, if you want to convert into kg per time, you should multiply with its specific gravity or relative density. You should remember, very important conversions. These two conversions. Clear these two conversions?
Yes, sir.
Students, please, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Make a screenshot. Very important conversion. We already discussed 1 liter is equals to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. This is one basic one, right? Apart from that, these two are the second conversions. Is this problem is clear now?
Sir, unit of specific gravity is?
No units. So specific gravity is the relative density. It is the ratio. No units for specific gravity.
Then how
Yes,
will we get kg per time, sir?
Okay. See here, specific gravity we can define in two ways actually. Okay, based on density we can define, based on the specific weight also we can define. So based on density we can define density of the given liquid by density of the standard liquid. Standard liquid we are taking as water, right now. So now in case of specific gravity we are considering density of given fluid by density of standard fluid. So after simplification we are getting. Right. Shall I move to next problem?
Yes, sir.
Right, go through the problem. Is it is readable?
Yes, sir.
Now, go through the problem. A single cylinder 4-stroke diesel engine running at 1800 rpm has a bore of 85 mm and stroke of 110 mm. It takes 0.56 kg of air per minute. Mass of air is given and develops a brake power. Brake power is also given. Air fuel ratio is given. The calorific value of the fuel used is okay, and the ambient air density. Calculate volumetric efficiency and brake specific fuel consumption. Do you have any problem in this one? Tell me. I'll write simply data. N is equals to 1800 rpm. It is a 4-stroke engine, therefore small n is equals to capital N by 2. It is single cylinder engine, K is equals to 1. And bore is given, D is equals to 0.085 meter and stroke is equals to 0.11 meter. And mass of air per minute. Mass of air is equals to 0.56 kg per minute. And develops a brake power of 6 kilowatt, while air fuel ratio mass of air by mass of fuel is equals to 20 by 1. Already we have air, then from this we can calculate mass of fuel. Agree? Mass of fuel is equals to mass of air divided by 20, that is equals to mass of air 0.56 by 20. We are getting units in terms of kg per minute. Kg per minute. Okay. But okay, let me complete. Okay, now then the calorific value of the fuel used is given. Calorific value is 42,550 kilojoules per kg, and air density, ambient air density is equals to 1.18 kg per meter cube. Why the air density is given? Tell me. See, what is the
To know the air
volumetric efficiency? Yeah, air volume is given, but it is in terms of kg per minute. It is in terms of kg per minute, okay? But in case of volumetric efficiency, actual volume by swept volume. Swept volume may be pi by 4 d square L into small n. Small n here it is capital N by 2. So the final units we are getting in terms of meter cube per minute. But if I take 0.56 here, will the units are balanced or not?
No.
No, because the units are kg per minute, but I want meter cube per minute. Okay, then I should divide with the density. Means VA 0.56 divided by 1.18. Therefore, the units will be meter cube per minute. That is the reason here. Once you know this one, we can calculate volumetric efficiency directly, right? Then brake specific fuel consumption. Okay, na? Brake specific fuel consumption is asking. So now tell me, what is the Mass of fuel, how much we got? Mass of fuel, this much, right? Mass of fuel 0.2. No. Tell me how much this one? 0.56 by 20.
0.028.
0.028 kg per minute. Yes or no? This is the mass of fuel. Yes or no? So how to calculate specific fuel consumption? Specific fuel consumption is how much amount of fuel we are using per hour in order to generate 1 kilowatt power. Okay, means I can say fuel used per hour to get 1 brake power. Okay, so that is equals to 0.028 into 60. There it will be converted into hour divided by BP is already given, it is 6 kilowatt. Okay, this is 6 kilowatt, therefore 10.28 kg per kilowatt hour is the brake specific fuel consumption. This is brake on based on brake power. Based on indicated power, indicated specific fuel consumption, ISFC. Here IP will come. Clear this problem? Important problem.
Yes, sir.
Right. Next problem. Go through the problem. Are you able to do or not? Please tell me, so that I'll go to next problem. Four cylinder, 2 stroke. Okay. Power develops power 30 kilowatt power is given, brake power, and 2500 RPM. The mean effective pressure on each piston is 8 bar. And mechanical efficiency, calculate the diameter and stroke of the each cylinder of stroke to bore ratio is given. Calculate fuel consumption of the engine if the brake thermal efficiency is this much and calorific value. Do you have any doubt here? Any doubt, please
So
ask
fuel
me.
consumption is specific fuel consumption.
Yes, specific fuel consumption. Next, fuel consumption means that one mass of fuel required per hour in order to generate 1 kilowatt power. Kg per kilowatt hour. Already brake power is given, na? 30 kilowatt brake power is given. And mass of fuel we can calculate because brake thermal efficiency, mechanical efficiency is given. So from that we can calculate. And brake thermal efficiency is also given. 28% given. What is brake thermal efficiency? Brake power by brake thermal efficiency is equal to BP by mass of fuel into calorific value. From this you will get MF. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Once you know MF, then BSFC we can calculate. BSFC is equals to MF in kg per hour divided by BP in kilowatt. That is this one fuel consumption. Then diameter and stroke we can calculate by using IP, indicated power formula. Okay, because mechanical efficiency is given. So mechanical efficiency is BP by IP, and you know BP and you know mechanical efficiency. From this we will get IP. IP is equals to PM into L into A into N into K divided by 60,000. In this PM is known, L and A we don't know. but the relation is given. You can see stroke to bore ratio, stroke to L by D is given. Okay, so therefore we can write L in terms of D. Therefore the only unknown here is the D. So if you will get D value. Once you know D, you will get L value. That's it. You can try, right? You try it. If you don't get,
Yes,
again
sir.
I will discuss in next class. Okay, right.
Sir, they said 4-cylinder, no sir.
Yeah, 4-cylinder. 4-cylinder means
Multiply by K.
4. Yeah,
K is
multiplied by
equals to
K.
4.
4. Yes, exactly. That is must and should. For two-stroke means small n is equals to capital N. Here I mentioned two-stroke also. You can see it is two-stroke
sir,
engine. Two-stroke means, tell me.
here they didn't tell the 30 kilowatt is brake power, no sir. Means how to
Yeah,
recognize?
because how to recognize means here again he has given mean effective pressure on each piston is given. Below that mean effective pressure on each piston. Inside the piston, that is the indicated mean effective pressure. Inside the engine indicated mean effective pressure. Okay, na?
Yes sir.
Here mean effective pressure PM is given, therefore the output will be brake power only by default. By default the power is brake power only. Our aim is only power available at the wheels only, not at the engine, as a common man. Okay. Shall I move to next one?
Yes
Please
sir.
respond. Right. Actually, it is two parts. Let's see. Just go through the data. The following particulars are obtained and trial on 4-stroke gas engine. Duration of trial is 1 hour and revolutions is given. Means this is 14,000. What is that one? 14,000.
RPMs.
Not RPM, revolutions per hour. Because the duration is per hour, 1 hour, right? Okay, now. Remember, then number of missed cycles, 500 missed cycles are there, and net brake load is given, mean effective pressure, gas consumption and calorific value of the gas, and cylinder diameter. Let me open one more page. Effective brake circumference is given, then calculate. I will write the remaining data. This is the question number. 5.1, right? Someone take the screenshot. Someone take the screenshot. Okay. Done. So that I will move to next. I want this data.
Yes sir.
Okay, right now. Let me open the board. Right. So tell me the data. What is the other data? I'll write here. Duration is given, right? So duration is equals to 1 hour. Yes or no? Duration is equals to 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
Next,
1 hour. Revolution
Revolutions.
14,000.
revolution is equals to 14,000. Next
14,000.
is
Number of
14,000. Next,
missed cycles.
number of missed cycles. Yes, missed cycles means
500.
not without firing. 500. Okay. Next, brake load is given,
Net
right?
brake load.
Net brake load W minus S.
Yes, sir.
How much?
1470.
1470 Newton. Next,
Mean
mean
effective
effective is
pressure
also given.
7.5. 7.5.
7.5 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Next, gas consumption, mass of gas,
20,000. 20,000 liters.
liters gas, yes. And calorific value of the gas, 21 kilojoules per liter. And bore is given, right? Cylinder bore diameter, D is equals to how much?
250 mm.
250 mm. And here stroke is given here. L is equals to 400 mm. And effective brake circumference. What does it mean, effective brake circumference? It is the perimeter, yes or no? Right? This is the total means perimeter pi into capital D plus small d. Yes or no? Capital D is for the wheel and small d is for the rope. Therefore, this is pi into
Yes, sir.
capital D plus small d, that is equals to how much? 4 meter is given. And compression ratio R value 6.5 by 1. Right. Calculate IP, BP, mechanical efficiency. Right. Now, what is N value? This is per hour. Yes or no? Now tell me N in RPM. N is equals to 14,000 divided by per minute I want. What I need to divide it by 60. You will get N value in terms of RPM. Okay. Please tell me. I don't want value. I will explain the procedure. Okay. Right. Now it is 4-stroke engine. Small n is equals to capital N by 2. Did he mention about number of cylinders? Did he mention about a number of cylinders obtained on trial and 4-stroke? No, right? This is one cylinder. So first calculate mean effective pressure. Sir, indicated pressure, mean effective pressure is given. IP is equals to PM LAN divided by 60,000 multiplied by K. Any difficulty in this one? Please respond. Make it fast.
No, sir. Everything is given.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Here, if you see, he mentioned number of missed cycles. Right now, number of missing cycles. Right. So here, usually, small n is equals to, where we mention here n by 2. Right. This many number of working cycles. Yes or no? This many number of working cycles we have, but these are missed cycles, 500. Then how to substitute this n value? What is this exact value? What is n? N is equals to number of working strokes. Number of working strokes per minute. This is the number of working strokes per minute. Now, these missed cycles are per 1 hour, yes or no? These missed cycles are per 1 hour. Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Right? So therefore, the n value, how to write? Actually, it is 14,000 per hour. But it is n by 2 because of 4-stroke. minus per hour how many cycles are missing? 500, but I want per minute, therefore this is 60. Is this step is clear or not? Please tell me. This is important. Number of missing cycles per hour is given. Means during this time there is no firing inside the engine cylinder. Number of now what is n? N is number of working strokes per minute. So number of working strokes per minute will be usually n by 2 in case of 4-stroke. Right now here if you see this is n by 2. If missing cycles are 0, then 500 will become 0. That serves the purpose. Now here for missing cycles are given, therefore we need to subtract this 500 from the total cycles. These are the total cycles per hour minus 500. Again per minute this is 60. Now the problem is over, I think. This is the only new concept here. Very, very important. So many times it came for the exam, this missing cycle concepts.
Sir, 14,000 is RPM, no sir?
No, not RPM. Just if you see, if you go back, what you may, where is that one? Here you can see revolutions given. That's simply mentioned revolution. But over that he has mentioned duration is 1 hour. Means we need to assume that it is per 1 hour. These are the revolutions per hour. Okay.
Then why did we divide with 60, sir?
That's what. What is n? N means what? Tell me. Number of working strokes per minute we want. Oh, okay. Revolutions per minute.
Capital N equal to 14,000 to 60 is wrong.
14,000 by, yes, it is in RPM only, not RPM. 14,000.
No sir, you wrote capital N equal to 40,000 to 60. Means no need to do that, no sir.
This one, huh? This one, right? You are talking about.
No sir, left side one. Left side. N capital N equal to 14,000 to 60.
Correct only, sir. We need revolutions in per minute, na sir.
Revolutions per minute, yes.
We got revolutions per hour, so we need per minute means we have to divide it by 60.
Revolutions per hour. Yes, that's what I did, na?
Yes, sir. That's what you did.
That's what I did. Then what is
We are
your
okay
doubt?
with this step.
Yeah, number 2 is having some doubt. Revolutions per hour. Hour is nothing but revolutions by 60 minute. This 60 we are dividing. It is
I
not.
think you will.
It is,
Then again we are dividing with 60 while finding small n, no sir.
okay. That's what. This 60 now. If you consider 60 here only 1,000 you have to consider. Okay now. If you substitute this whole value in this formula, then here in the denominator need not to consider 60,000. Already this 60 we used here. Only 1,000 you have to consider.
Yes sir.
No. Yes, you are confusing. We need to consider this 60 also. Why? Because PM units you tell me, Newton per meter square, length meter, area meter square, and this is 1 by minute. Yes or no? Then why I consider this 60 to convert this one into second? Then the units will be meter square will be cancelled. On Newton meter is joule, joules per second is watt. and this watt is converted into kilowatt. So by dividing with 1000, therefore it will become kilowatt.
Sir, we are just finding small n value, sir. That's it.
That's it. That's it. This is small n value. Don't get confused. This 60, this 60. This 60 is to convert this hour to minute, and this 60 is to convert this minute to second. Are you okay? Again, I will repeat.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Right. Now, so indicated power can be calculated. So brake power. So for brake power, he has given all the data. You can see W minus S is given, pi into capital D plus small d is given, and capital N value is there, right? So W minus S into pi into capital D plus small d into N by 60,000 kilowatt. You will get the brake power. Once you know brake power, you already calculated indicated power. You will get mechanical efficiency. Right. Then next will be indicated thermal efficiency. How to get indicated thermal efficiency? IP by mass of fuel. Mass of fuel is nothing but mass of gas into its calorific value. Right now, so here per liter will be cancelled. So that is the indicated thermal efficiency. Then relative efficiency. What is relative efficiency? Relative efficiency is equals to actual efficiency by air standard efficiency. Normal thermal efficiency divided by air standard efficiency. Right now, so this is the gas engine, nothing but Otto cycle. Okay, air standard efficiency is equals to 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1. What is R? R is here is the compression ratio. That value is given as 6.5. Okay, so this is the air standard efficiency you will get, and already you calculated indicated thermal efficiency. Indicated thermal efficiency by air standard efficiency, if you do, you will get the relative efficiency. That is about the problem. So the important
Sir,
step
here
here, tell me.
mass of gas value in terms of hour, no, sir.
Mass of gas value in terms of per hour. Yeah, you should convert that. You should convert that.
Okay, sir.
Because it is if you see, it is kilojoules per liter, into liters per hour. Yes or no? 20,000 liters per hour. So we required second actually. Okay, now liter will be cancelled. You will get kilojoules per hour. But we required kilojoules per second. Divide with 3,600 here, because IP is in kilowatt. Okay, now. Reply please.
Yes, sir.
Is right. Next problem, one more problem. Let's go through the problem. The output of IC engine is measured by rope brake dynamometer. The diameter of brake pulley is given and rope is given. Dead load is given. Spring balance. The engine consumes. Yeah, go through this one. Do you have any doubt? Ask me. Otherwise, I'll go to next problem. This is direct problem, I think. Please go through the data. Any doubt? Ask me. I'll explain. So first calculate BP, brake power, then BSFC. How to get BSFC? Mass of fuel by brake power. It is in kg per hour. Then brake thermal efficiency. Brake power by mass of fuel into calorific value. Only thing is balancing the units. That's it. All the data is available. How to get the brake power? Brake power is equals to W minus S into pi into capital D plus small d into N by 60,000. Any doubt, please ask me. Hello students, is it okay? Right, if you see capital D is given, this is capital E and this is small d, the dead load, alright, dead load is W is given and the spring balance S is given, right, directly mass of fuel is given, very good. Here mass of fuel MF is given and N is also given and the calorific value of the fuel. Calorific value. Now WS, everything is there for BP. Again MF is there. You can calculate BSFC. Then brake thermal efficiency. First bit, second bit, third bit. Please respond. Hello.
Sir,
Yeah. Is it okay? Do you have any problem with this? All the data is available. What happened? No one is responding. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah. If it is okay, tell me. I will go to next problem. Take a screenshot and
Yes,
try
sir,
afterwards. Take a screenshot, all of you. Go through this problem. This is also, I think, direct problem. Indicated power, brake power. Once you know indicated power, brake power, you can calculate mechanical efficiency directly. Then speed of the engine is given. Fuel per brake power hour. Fuel per brake power hour. Kg per kilowatt hour. Yes or no? The units are 0.35 kg per kilowatt hour. If you want only kg per hour, then this is equals to 0.35 into what is the brake power? 26 kg per hour. Yes or no? This is the mass of fuel. Then calorific value is given. Then calculate indicated thermal efficiency. How to calculate indicated thermal efficiency? This is clear? Fuel per brake power hour is given. That is 0.35 kg per kilowatt hour. From this we calculated mass of fuel. Mass of fuel is equals to 0.35 into brake power. Brake power is 26. Therefore, you will get kg per hour. Okay. And IP value is there, BP value is there. He is asking indicated thermal efficiency. Indicated thermal efficiency formula, indicated power by feet supplied. That is mass of fuel into calorific value. So mass of fuel should be in kg per second because IP is in kilowatt. So we are getting kg per hour. Therefore, you should multiply with 3600. This is the first bit, indicated thermal efficiency. Then brake thermal efficiency. Brake thermal efficiency BP by mass of fuel into calorific value. Again, mass of fuel is in kg per hour. Multiply with 3600. That is brake thermal efficiency. Then directly mechanical efficiency. That is output by BP by IP into 100. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With this, we'll stop today. So tomorrow we'll complete this unit. We'll solve more problems on Morse test as well as heat balance it in tomorrow's class. Okay.
So this is from second unit.